Okay, I thought I'd just do a real short video showing you an update I did on my smokeless fire pit. Right now there's quite a bit of smoke coming from the fire pit. I just started it up, and I did this for demonstration purposes to show you how well the blower works. But the modification I made, as you may recall, right between where you see that paver and you see the landscaping around my tree, I had a intake vent that was used to supply air to the fire pit. If you want to see more on the setup of this, how I installed the blower that I use for my fire pit, you can check out the video link that I'll provide in the upper right hand corner of there. So what I did as a modification, you can see that the ground is, the grass is gone there, sort of new soil. I relocated that right between the outside edging and the tree there. Now the vent is below the layer of gravel, and then there is two pieces of landscaping cloth on top of that vent. Furthermore, I put some sound deadening material, some foam, in the entrance of that intake. That does two things. It sort of keeps the water from coming in there, not to mention the fact that it's beneath a tree, which helps limit the amount of rain that is going to fall into that, but it also deadens the sound. Now I'm going to show you a short video segment where, it's probably been 3 weeks ago now, my wife and I were sitting around the fire, and I was commenting how it wasn't that loud. Now in reality, when you're sitting next to the fire, it doesn't sound loud at all. However, when you record it, for some reason, the sound coming from the blower sounded pretty significant. That was before I relocated the blower intake. So you can see it's now a little further away, but more importantly, with that sound deadening foam inside there, plus the fact that it's under a couple layers of landscaping cloth in the gravel, that has deadened the sound significantly. So I'm going to play the clip where I was trying to convince myself and my wife that the blower wasn't that loud, and we'll compare that to now that I have the intake relocated. So I'm getting smoke here, so I'm going to kind of relocate here to the other side so that I'm on my backs to the wind. So let's go ahead and watch that clip. What is today's date here? It's June 14th, a little cool day. So I thought I would make a fire here, and this is without the blower. Let's turn the blower on, and we can have a conversation here, right honey? And we can hear each other just fine. One of the complaints is that you can't hear because the blower's too loud. Okay, so now I've set myself down roughly the same distance from the fire pit as I was when I made the previous video. And what I want to do is start the blower, show you how it stokes the fire, eliminates smoke, but more importantly, you can compare the noise level of that blower now that I've relocated it with the sound deadening material. So let's try that. So I've got my remote here, and I'm going to go ahead and turn that blower on now. So I don't know if you can hear that, but the only actual sound that I'm hearing from the blower is actually coming from inside the pit. I cannot hear the intake anymore at all, so it's done a real effective job of deadening the sound of that blower. Because one of the complaints, as I mentioned in the clip, was that when people sit around the fire, they want to do it for serenity purposes. They don't want to be able to hear a blower in the background. And I'm telling you, I don't know what it sounds like in the video because I haven't obviously listened to the recording yet, but it is very quiet now, even more quiet than it was previously. So I'm really satisfied with that enhancement. In addition to that, I will show you the previous clips that I've taken. You can see the flames are stoking up And I hope you can see, I'm going to back up a little bit, I hope you can see that there's hardly any smoke at all coming off of those flames. There's a little bit, but it has stoked up quite a bit just by turning on that blower. So the blower is still very effective. The concerns about water in the pit, one thing, in the area where I live, the soil is very sandy, so it drains very well. And you know, there's been many issues stated about the fact that I put a lot of pea gravel in the bottom underneath the ring. You know, none of those issues have impeded the performance of that blower. The blower works as it should. It's not an immediate stoking of flames, but it's a gradual stoking. So if there is smoke or if the fire is waning a bit, I can hit this blower and the blower does the job. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the blower off, and I'll probably take snapshots of before and after, and you can see, I hope you can see, already it's beginning to smoke quite a bit, and the flames aren't as vigorous as they was previously. You can see, I think, the smoke coming off of that fire. So it'll gradually reduce in the amount of flame, and you'll see more and more smoke. I guess if we go up close here, you can see the amount of smoke that's forming in there. Now let's go ahead and turn the blower right back on and see if it reduces that. So the blower's back on. Still smoking yet. Once it pumps a little more air in there, you'll see that smoke start to dissipate and the flames increase. So all in all, as I stated earlier, I'm very pleased with the blower on the fire pit. Many people said, well, why don't you just build it above ground? I like the fact that this is in the ground. I reseeded that area that I dug up, and I don't like to see the large pit above ground necessarily. I like this lower profile. It looks nice in the yard. It's not obtrusive, I guess I would say. So still some smoke on there, but so I trust that you agree that this improvement has substantially reduced the noise levels of that blower. It certainly seems like it has, and it will certainly make it more enjoyable to sit around the fire. So with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up this video for today. I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.